Next roster update is not this Friday, it's June 2nd. On Friday, we're not getting anything at all because all the content has been moved to Thursday. So on Thursday, we will be receiving a brand new Incognito Series program. It's going to have a conquest, showdown, and moments to do, as well as the May Tops Now moments to unlock more unsellable set 2 cards to lock into the collection. And then last but not least, we're also getting part 3 of the Kaiju event. That means that not only are you getting a roster update predictions video today, but you're also going to get one on Friday, and then the finalized version on the following Monday. Do me a solid before we get into the roster update predictions and hit that like button, red subscribe button, notification bell, and check out the description. Would advise that you stick around towards the end, as I'm going to discuss a feature that would allow you to get my roster update predictions early, as well as me reviewing any player that you do not see on the list. I want you all to keep in mind, because there is still a week and a half left, these numbers are all conservative in terms of the overall predicted as well as the attribute changes. In terms of the attribute changes, I went ahead and made a criteria of 10 at-bats against either sides, and with runners in scoring position, I made a criteria for at least 7 at-bats. Since the last roster update, which was the 12th of May, Freddie Freeman with runners in scoring position has been hitting 571 and has an ISO of 571 as well. Both of those numbers are amazing. His clutch is already at a 107, but I could see them increasing it a little bit more. Versus left-handers since the 12th, he's been hitting 385 while having an ISO of 615. Both of those numbers are also amazing. Versus right-handers, he's currently hitting 480 and has an ISO of 240. All of this is since the 12th of May. He got downgraded from an 87, so I could easily see him going back up to an 87, and beyond that, if he keeps this pace up for the following week and a half. At an 87 overall, his quick sell value is 4,500 stubs. So if you were to invest in him right now for 3.2k, let's say for example, you are going to be making 1.3k a pop. Next up on the list was someone that I did not see going diamond, but right now he's proving he deserves that and more. Adonis Garcia, since the 12th of May, has been hitting with runners in scoring position 500. His ISO is 750. Those are video game numbers. Versus left-handers, he's currently hitting 429 and his ISO is 429. But I do not see him getting any upgrades versus lefties, since he did not meet the 10 at-bat criteria just yet, but he could by the next Monday. Versus right-handers, on the other hand, he's currently hitting 273 and he's slugging for 864, which is an ISO of 591. As of right now, all I put for him was power versus right being the attribute that goes up. And if that does go up, then I see him going up to at least an 88 overall. And if you buy him for the quick sell value, which is 4.5k, if he does go for an 88 overall, then he is going to go up 1k in terms of quick sell value, and you'll be making a k per Adonis Garcia. I'm currently investing in him at the quick sell value because I believe that if he faces a couple of more lefties and continues to hit the ball well against them and stays on pace versus right-handers, he could be the next high tier diamond, or he could be an 89 overall, which would then go ahead and bring me in more stubs. Unfortunately, Suzuki, since the 12th of May, did not meet the at-bats versus lefties or at-bats with runners in scoring position, but by next Monday he could easily do that. So make sure you keep an eye on how he's performing inside of the games and how he's doing with runners in scoring position. Right now, all we have is his numbers versus righties that we can use to meet the criteria. Versus righties, he's hitting 333 and has an ISO of 444. That means that his contact and power versus right are both going to increase. Might not be drastically, but they're both going to increase. I have him going up to a 76 overall, which would put his quick sell value at 75 stubs. I know that's not a lot and not a big profit, but if he continues this, and let's say he does it for the next week and a half or even longer than that, then this might be the lowest you will ever find Seiya Suzuki selling for a long time. Anthony Rizzo missed out on the left-hander attribute increases because he only has 9 at-bats, so you want to keep an eye out on him for whenever the Yankees face a southpaw. Now, versus right-handers though, he's currently hitting 286. I see his contact versus right being increased slightly, and then his ISO is 536. So I definitely see that power versus right being increased. Both of them increased especially being a first baseman. I could see him going up to an 83 overall. His current value is 721, 667. At an 83 overall, it jumps all the way up to 1,200 stubs, so you could be making nearly double your investment. Ezekiel Duran has been hitting 375 with an ISO of 250 with runners in scoring position. That is great. His clutch should definitely go up at least a bit. Now, versus right-handers, he's hitting 300 with an ISO of 400. Versus left-handers, on the other hand, he's hitting 429 with an ISO of 357. So his clutch should slightly go up, and then his contact and power versus both sides should also go up. I have him going up to a 76 overall, but just like say a Suzuki, that's just me being very conservative as of right now, since we still have a week and a half. This might be the lowest you will find him at as well, so make sure if you want to be on the hype train, you go ahead and invest in him as well. Freddie Ruiz, since the 12th of May, has been hitting 556 with runners in scoring position. His ISO is a 0. What does that mean? It means that he's hit a single each time that there have been runners in scoring position, so his clutch should definitely get a bit of a raise. Now, when we're talking about versus right-handers versus left-handers, versus right-handers, he's hitting 348 with an ISO of 0.043. So I see the contact going up against right-handers. I do not see the power going up against right-handers. Versus left-handers, on the other hand, he's hitting 333 with an ISO of 333 as well. So I could see the power versus left going up and contact versus left going up as well. I have him at a conservative 78 overall, which if you invest in him right now, the quick sell will be at 125, but he could easily continue going up beyond that at a 79 or 80, especially if he starts adding some power versus the right hand side. This is kind of funny. Since the 12, Nathaniel Lowe is exactly like Freddie Ruiz. He's been hitting 400 in terms of average, but his ISO is a 0, meaning he's hit singles each and every single time. Versus left-handers, on the other hand, he is hitting 412 with an ISO of 118. So as of right now, I can see the contact versus left being increased. Versus right-handers, on the other hand, he is currently hitting 316 with an ISO of 263. So I see the contact versus right also being increased, as well as his power versus right and the contact versus left as well. I see him going back up to an 80. He's currently selling for 133. So if you go ahead and invest in him, you're basically making double what you invested in if he does go gold. Isaac Paredes with runners in scoring position is hitting 375. His ISO is 500. So those are amazing. His clutch should definitely see an increase. Versus lefties, he doesn't have enough plate appearances. But versus righties, on the other hand, he's currently hitting 333 with an ISO of 333 as well. I see his contact and power versus right being increased, as well as his clutch, putting him at a conservative 80 overall. If you invest in him now, you nearly double the investment as well, just like with Nathaniel Lowe. Jose Siri, since the 12th of May, does not have enough for us to go ahead and actually increase his clutch or his attributes versus left-handers. He only has enough at-bats versus right-handers. And versus right-handers, he's currently hitting 292 with an ISO of 417, meaning that his contact and power versus right should both be increased. I have him at a 77 overall, but that's being very conservative. Why? Because he already has diamond fielding, diamond arm strength, and diamond reaction with diamond speed. Therefore, if he gets any substantial boost to his contact and power versus right, you might see him jump from a 75 overall all the way up to an 80 overall, just because of how good his defense is. So this is a sneaky investment, but it has very big upside. Last but not least, because I wanted to include a pitcher for you all, we have ourselves Joe Ryan, who is an 85 overall. He has 2 games pitched since the 12th. In those 2 games pitched, he has 12 innings pitched. He has allowed 11 hits. So his hit per 9 definitely is not being increased right now. He has 19 strikeouts, so his K per 9 could definitely be increased. With runners in scoring position, he has not given up a hit, so his pitching clutch could also be increased. And then last but not least, another thing that could help him out tremendously is the fact that inside of those 12 innings pitched, he has only walked 2 hitters, having a 1.5 walk per 9. That could also be slightly increased. And let's say we're going to be really conservative here and put him at an 86 overall, which if you invest in him at his current sell now price, which is his quick sell value, and he doesn't go up, you can sell him back and not lose out on any stubs whatsoever. But if he does jump up to an 86 or 87 overall, this is a safe way to make, let's say, 750 stubs per pop, or you can even make 1.5k stubs per pop. So what is the special feature that's gonna allow you to get the roster update predictions before I even post the video, or get me to review the players that are not on the list that you have invested in? It's pretty simple. You go inside of the description and you click on the link on how to become a member. If you go ahead and sign up and become a member, yes, it is a subscription, so you do have to pay $2.99 monthly. I will go ahead and post members exclusive sheets of roster update predictions, as well as go ahead and review any of the players you go ahead and ask me about inside of those exclusive posts. You do not have to do it, and the roster update predictions are still going to be available at normal times on the channel. But if you want to get it a day early, let's say, in order to get better investment value, or you want to go ahead and simply ask me about certain players, whether you should buy or sell off, then that would be a great cheap option that you can go ahead and do. With that being said, once again, make sure you hit that like button or subscribe button, notification bell. Check out the description for the Twitch, Discord, social medias, how to become a member. Have a blessed day and night. Stay positive, stay safe, stay blessed, and I will catch you all on the next one. Peace out.